Hello, I'm back. All right, enough of that, folks. You know that. How's everybody doing? I went on a little road trip, had some fun with my friend SK, and it's good to get away and break the routine and everything. So I hope everybody's getting going through the holidays fine. The week before Christmas, 5 days actually. So I hope everybody gets everything. They all have a good Christmas. Uh, Colombo crime family, sports gambling ring. That's too much. What am I doing? I don't know. That's a little softer. All right, you know I wear all the hats around here. I'm the writer. I'm the editor. I'm the producer. I'm the entertainer. And I just do it as it comes. What am I writing? I'm a natural disaster. So, all right, I'm going to do a little evening thing here. And now the Colombo and Gambino crime families, the gambling, sports betting and gambling. I did the other one, which I'll call part one and part two, because the people go for that part one, part two. I'm just trying to be a little tricky. But there was people that were stationed in Vegas. There might be a guy in Vegas that might be a agent or a made man in one of the families, Colombo, Gambino, and all the rest of them. But he would have money. How you doing, Mr. Spataro? He would have a big lump sum of money because sometimes the numbers might get so big or they might be off balance if you can't balance the bets, and you don't really want to get hurt. Some people roll the dice and they would say, take it. We don't care, but others more or less kept it to the book of, strategy, probabilities, and more safer. But some people like to take more risks, and they would take a lot more action, and they could be a lot heavier on one side or the other. And they'd have a guy and call them and say whatever they wanted to do. The Gambinos, the gambling Gambinos, the Gamblinos. They should call them the Gamblinos, the Gamblino crime family. Everybody gambled. Everybody gambled everywhere. All the associates, they all gambled their ass off. 90% of them were degenerate gamblers. And that was already stated. Please forgive me. And they'd have these guys in Vegas, and they would, some of them were real sharp. Like, hey, Leon, there you are, man. Happy holidays, friend. Jeremy, good evening to you. Jeremy, a new guy here on the site. Happy holidays to you. I appreciate you folks coming in here. There was some big guys over there they would sit in Vegas with big amounts of money, and they could shop around in Vegas for a better line for big bets. So it was very strategic that, they might be really heavy on a team -8 or so, and they might be able to get down at the right casino at a team -6 or not, whatever was the most advantageous way. So, well, if you don't understand, they were going to just get the best of the risk. They were going to get the best of the risk. lower the risk, increase their chance for a bigger profit. So they had them guys over there, and I actually met one of these guys at outing, clam bake or whatever. They had clam bakes and stuff like that. And the guy was very, very sharp, very, very sharp guy. And he was talking about how he had just people that weren't even in a crime family, or just people that were high rollers. There's millionaires all over the country that like to gamble and send it in. And the guy was real smart. And I learned a couple things from him too, because you could always learn. I was good, numbers, strategy, and everything. But this guy was doing it for a long, long time. And he gave me some, some food for thought, some good knowledge. And there's other guy that was for Colombo. And sometimes they switch back and forth. Like I said, just like NFL, they'll do a trade. Mafia, the mafia families have done trades. they've done trades. Some guy might be better at racketeering things if they would go like they would steal merchandise or goods or whatever they hustled. They might excel in that, which one family might have leaned toward other, and some of them it might not have excelled in bookie gambling and taking bets, but they did. But some were at higher levels than others. But the ones at the higher levels, they had to have it down to a science, because the wise guy can beat your book. They can beat your book, and you could take a big loss. So you have to have a strategy in place. So you don't want to lose 50,000 on a game or 65,000. Now them guys, when I was running around and did some action on the side or whatever, freelance, it was just small people. It was just small people. I wasn't going to have somebody destroy my book. There were people from the Gambino. They would come up, maybe a captain or a top ranked like associate. There's tons of associates, but some of them had higher responsibilities. Thinkers, money men, educated, that they would come back and forth, because a lot of them would head out to Cleveland or Toronto and things. So they would network and say, okay, we'll stop up at the Falls or Buffalo when we make our way, whether they're going Cleveland or West, because they stayed in tandem. They stayed together. They were mobile. And a lot of them, they wouldn't, they had runners running the money. A lot of times, packages, whatever, when you settled after the week, whatever the numbers were. But a lot of them would settle at a certain amount. So you're not just running back and forth willy-nilly, because the numbers are going to change. You can't be going to these long distances left and right. So once in a while, I was an errand boy. So that's what entailed that. You have to square up. Now, I don't name names. Good old Mike F and them. I mean, the story is the story. People want to know, it was Nicky No-Nose and, Sally. I found it funny, some guys were called Sally. I'd say, Sally, don't say nothing, Jojo. Sally. Salvador or Sally? There was a racehorse called Sally Vaughn, and I used to go, Sally. The guy didn't like it. What are you talking about? It's a racehorse. He said, my name is Salvador. Well, okay, I'm sorry. But, yeah. And, all the guys were named Bob, Jim, Tony, Rick, Sam, Joe, Robert, Bob. I don't do that shit. Sally, Salvador, yeah. They didn't call Salvador Gambino Sally, though. They didn't call Salvador. They called him the Rat, but we ain't gonna go there. But I'll tell you one thing. That gambling ring, you see, I said another video, and I'm probably repeating myself, my dear friends. A lot of the captains and the bosses didn't like the gambling of their crews, of the workers, the associates. They didn't like them gambling. They wanted to have a clean corporation, fraternity, and build up assets, get a house, get a nice car, buy land. They want to build up. But when you're just a hardcore gambler, it's going to lead to a lot of shit, because they get paid their money and then they're broke and then they're going to start hustling. And what do they start hustling? Drugs. And yeah, some agreed, some families agreed on it, some didn't, but it was, they like to say, excuse me, some crime families. Well, yeah, some families got into the drug business more than others, but it was like, oh, all the bosses frowned upon it. I mean, when those bosses and captains get those packages of money and they're living large and they're making hundreds of thousands of dollars, a lot, they turn their heads to a lot of stuff. And I knew guys up there that were rocking and rolling and making big moves. And I don't know if Sam knew about it or not, but because I actually saw a big baggie of whatever, and I was, geez, I'm out driving you around with that in my car. I'm like, what the hell? You better start throwing me. You better start throwing me some money over here. But sometimes these guys, they're selling cocaine or any other drugs, and half the time they're whacked out. They're a little squirrely in their brain, and you're with them, and you got to be careful. And they're packing a gun. One guy, they were hiding guns in my damn car. Those communists, they were hiding them. And I told Sam that. And then after down the road, he made a rule. Nobody's getting in JoJo's car. Nobody. That's the rule. Nobody's getting in JoJo's car to have him give you rides. Get a ride somewhere else. Even though I grabbed some good money off the guys that, I would always get paid generously for that. But the gambling went on. These guys, they blew their money every week, and whatever they were making on the side, they blew it. They would bet with another gambling outfit. So they were. You don't see it on the other YouTube channels because, excuse me, folks. You don't see that because a lot of times when I watch a lot of the videos, it seems like the Colombos are just strictly with Colombos and they just do their own thing. The Gambinos just with the and they do their own thing. And Genovese, Lucchese, whatever, they just do their own. No. When it came to gambling and the crime families, it crossed over. It intersected. and you're a Colombo member, and you're betting a guy taking the action for Lucchese, Gambino. You're taking action, and we're in a war or dispute against that. Well, that shit went away. A lot of times the stuff that's portrayed on YouTube it makes it look like it's a lot worse. Yeah, there could have been somebody whacked or somebody hit and everything like that, but they still maintained the money interactions, gambling, booking. They're still gonna run a racket to make money. They crossed over, families crossed over, and associates underneath. They were making drug deals with each other. If you're in the Colombos, you know a guy in the Gambinos that knows a guy in Harlem that can get you a kilo of blow, whatever. They, and they would broker a deal. It happened. It wasn't just like you had blinders on. These guys would hustle anything. Yeah, you're loyal to a family, but they would have hustled anything because most of them were just gambling, drugging, womanizing, and they're blowing their money. So they had to keep as much cash flow going as they possibly could. And the Gambinos had some sharp. There was a lot of sharp. You just think a lot of the associates are just Guido. Oh, let's go whack him. No, there's thinkers in there. You better be a thinker. You better be a thinker when you have higher responsibilities pertaining to money and bringing money into the family. You better. A lot of them were earners, and a lot of them might hustle 10,000 and only send 5,000 up and say, screw the captain, screw the boss. I went hustle this money or whatnot. Or they might get paranoid. They made 10,000 on a drug deal, and now they're thinking, geez, should I send some money up to the captain? But then he'll know maybe he might know that it was in a drug deal. Or then what do I say how I made the money? But he could get caught in a lie, and then that's bad. So you just say, oh, listen, boss, I made a deal here for 25,000. I'll send some money up to you. And, if you don't like that, I'll quit doing it or whatever. But the boss was like, all right, here. All right. In some families, but the gambling ring and everything else, the people, they just blew all their money. They blew the money. It was just like the guys are doing the footwork. You got like the worker bees. They're doing all the footwork, and a lot of times you think, wow, I did all this work and I did a good job, and then the one guy, he gets the money, but that's what they joined. That's what they joined the mafia for. That's what they joined. They kind of had a sour taste in their mouth because they were blowing and spending the money as fast as they could get it. And they made good enough money to have a good life. But when you blow all your money, you think, oh, the captain and the skipper. Yeah, the skipper, oh, geez, they're making out like a bandit. Well, no. A lot of time, the skippers and the higher up captains, they were setting up things for that stuff. They already had the pieces in place, and all you had to do was execute and make your end. And of course, that money went up there because they're the manager. They're the manager that made the deals. But when it comes to gambling with like my godfather, them guys, he was trying to collect money from people that owed the Colombo family from different crime families. It wasn't just people and whatever, but some of them were just people off the streets, people that just like to gamble, and they would call the Colombo family bookie and get down and just regular people, 9-to-5 guys, but they didn't pay. A lot of them didn't pay. And my godfather would have to try to collect from them. And but in New York, he would have to maybe collect from a guy outside the Colombo family, maybe the Gambino family, which was heavy into well, they were heavy into everything. I mean, back Paul Castellano tried to run a clean ship. He got old. He moved out of town. It was out there. They were running ragged over there. There was no pressure on John Gotti or Sammy the Bull to fear Paul Castellano. No. So the gambling ring was, they were gambling within the families. It was crossing over to other things. And the Northeast had one of the biggest rings in America. Just in that quadrant, geographical location, they had, I mean, there's people, millionaire people or executives and things that want to get down. They bet 10,000, 20,000 on a game. And if they blow 60,000, they'd be right there with the money. When they'd be right there, not to give to me, whoever they were giving it to. I was nobody. I ran and grabbed bread and milk, and that's it. You need a coffee? Here, boom, boom. That's it. I didn't do shit. So, yeah, you try to, they don't touch upon it on these other YouTube channels and everything else, but there was a lot of crossing over between families. Some were more acquainted with certain families, others stayed away, and of course there were wars. But when it came down to make money on a racket, and you could benefit one family, they could both be a benefit to each family, they're going to utilize it if there's $1 to be made. But a lot of times somebody had a good racket and somebody wanted in on that racket. Somebody wanted in. You know, in the New Jersey, when they had Atlantic City, and you know, them other crime families had Atlantic City, there was other people that wanted in on that. You know, how you doing, Liberty? And new people showing up in here. I've just put something together here on the gambling ring with the Gambinos. But when you had a good hustle somewhere, someone might want to take over that hustle that was very lucrative. And in New York, in the boroughs, some families were like, yeah, that was the Alan Kaiser video. Yeah, you know, and I talked about that. I don't mean to change the subject, but, you know, Alan Kaiser was the boy that Sammy the Bull Gravano killed. And I did a brief thing, and God bless that family. But I was saying, how does that family feel? Grief never goes away like that. Grief, like the sister, the brother, whoever. My pleasure, Liberty. The time doesn't heal those wounds. And then how do you feel when you find out Sammy the Bull puts he's got a YouTube channel out there? I mean, come on. And I don't want to bring up the FBI about too many things and everything, because it's just not good. But thank you, Liberty. And RIP for Alan Kaiser and that kind of stuff, because I appreciate you coming in here. I do a lot of different videos. I got a little small setup here, and whatever happens, happens. But, you know, but a lot of times, there was certain rackets that were being real lucrative. I mean, even in the falls when Sam was going to retire out in Buffalo, and they had a new starting five coming right on up. Boom, boom, boom. I don't know if he got pressured or what. There was a lot of crazy things going on at that time. Whether somebody in New York said, because they had some bad actors. You heard my other stories. They had bad actors in that crew. And you know what they tried to do with me. And so they might have just said, Sam, by the way, you're retiring, whether you like it or not, or maybe Sam knew he had to retire. Who beat who to the punch? I don't know, but he retired. The new guys come on, and they were good guys, good-looking, well-educated guys, fine-tuned guys that was way better than that ragtag crew they had up there. And it was a changing of the guard because they couldn't excel. There was a lot of money to be made in that gambling ring, and these guys weren't being efficient enough to rub, Western New York, you got Canada, Cleveland, and everywhere else. The money you could hustle from gambling, bookmaking there, and you got a clown crew over there that can't. They're trying to rob their own money. So they had to utilize the people that were more efficient and honest and bring them up there. And I was leaving anyways, and I seen some people thereafter, but it was like, if you're not on your top game and there's more money to be earned, then you're going to be replaced in whatever fashion. They might just say, hey, take a walk, or they might go boom, boom, boom. I don't know. But you gotta, you're dragging your feet. You're not at your full potential. We know this market area, there's gamblers everywhere. You're supposed to be making big money, and you got a ragtag crew that don't know 2 + 2 is 4, and they're doing all the wrong moves. So that's that. I mean, but the money that went up to them bosses and captains is unbelievable. And I saw that turning thing in that bar, the bar storage, the door, the little room where it was a swivel with bottles of liquor from the bar being stored on there. And then it would turn around and there's money from the floor to the ceiling with stacked bundles of money. I mean, holy cow. Where'd they put the money? I was like, geez, there should be a 24-hour around-the-clock guard outside. I mean, damn. I'd have tried to rob it, but I wasn't. I wasn't that brave. Because when he showed me that, I was in the hallway and he was opening, doing something, and I looked and he said, "Oh, get over there to the bar area." I was like, "Hmm." He said, "No, I gotta kill you, Joe." And he's like, "I'm just kidding." I said, "I don't care. I didn't see nothing. Yeah, I'm not. Them guys were making hundreds of thousands of dollars. There was no legal sports betting. Now you could bet every casino you want. You could bet anywhere you want. There just wasn't $50 bettors, $100 bettors, $25 parlay people betting on all that kind of stuff. There's wealthy people that were betting big money. 6 figures sometimes, or they'd end up losing 6 figures after 4 games. But they had the people betting tons of money, and then the boss gets most of the money, and then the worker bees, the crew, and the people, they might make more money because of their higher responsibilities. These guys, I was giving them rides home, and they were in a shitty part of town. I'm like, geez, all the money you guys make, you got a ragtag apartment. I thought you'd have a house out in the suburbs. You guys are making all this money. Where's the money? You're just blowing it every week on whores and drugs and gambling. Shit, set yourself up. What the hell? Didn't make sense. A lot of these guys were in their 20s, 30s, later, maybe early 40s, but geez, you're gonna risk being involved in a crime family, and you're broke till the next week when you get paid. That was like 70%. 30% people were Hey, Mario, he was 2,000 on the Padres to win the World Series. Future bet. I wonder what the odds are on that. Super Mario. So yeah, that people, that gambling. I mean, geez, if that was a million years ago, if I was running that, I would still have that money today if I had an operation like that. Jeez, it's terrible. That's completely terrible. Most when you see the mafia and you see the associates and you see these hitmen and all this and that, if they didn't get whacked and or they didn't go to prison for life, they died broke. They died broke. They had no other skills in the world. A lot of them didn't have any other skills. They weren't educated, or they didn't have a college degree. That was all they knew. So it was do or die, literally speaking, and to prosper. But if you're going to join that fraternity, stash some money. If you're going to make 4,000 on something, put 2,000 away for a house or some land or something in the future. I didn't make any kind of money to do that kind of stuff. I was living week to week. I had to more or less open my mouth to get a tip, for running some of these people around or running errands. But geez, I would have still been living off of that money today, decades later. But through the years, I would see common friends, mutual friends of people and everything. And some got hit and, some, a lot of tragedy. It's easy to guess that you'd see somebody 10 years later, hey, how have you been and everything? And then say, hey, well, how's Rick? Well, no, Rick didn't do any good. They wouldn't say specifically, but more or less, well, Rick didn't make it. Hey, how did that Tony make out? Is this kid now? Well, no, Tony went away or something. It was all bad. It was all bad. The new one, Vito the Pit Bull, Jojo. My bro told me about your show. You're from our hometown. All right, good stuff. I have no plan from. Also, come on over, join us. Fun stuff. Yeah, we just do what we do. I'm older. I like to commune with the people in here and blah 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 blah. And I try to get a different view, a different perspective on when you see anything on media, TV, or the crime or the mob channels. It's not all that mentality. It's not that whole posture. Oh, I wish you luck, Vito the Pit Bull. Man, all these guys got real good channel names. What's this cup of JoJo stuff? I'm gonna start throwing this coffee out. I don't care if I got 5 subscribers or 1 million subscribers. I'm older. This is a hobby. I like going back and forth with the people, the good people, the mafia, all that tough guy shit. I am not a tough guy, I'm not a tough guy. Vito the Pit Bull, man. That sounds a little dangerous. I got some guy. Oh man, these guys are cool guys. I wish I knew the guys in person. Hey, let's have a cup of coffee. Outside of here. I'm a sentimental guy. I'm not a tough guy. Oh, let's go whack him. Oh, I was with the girl. My God, nah. You know what? That's bullshit. That ain't no good. I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian. I want goodwill and everything. And, Mike Francis and Sammy the Bull, yeah, they're in their 70s and everything. But, boy, they lie their asses off. Oh, my gosh. They lie. And I'm not going to get tripped out on all that. Who's lying and who's not. Who cares? They got 1 million subscribers. They're hustlers. Geez, of course they know how to hustle. Yeah, they could hustle whether they're lying or not. The Sicilian Zip. Come on, man. You guys are killing me. The Zip. Yeah, those are my guys, man. I miss being around the Italian guys and everything. See, them guys, the Colombo family and the Falls, and yeah, there were some scary guys, but I enjoyed. I had fun with some of the guys. You could get a little close to some of the guys, and we had to be careful with a couple of guys. No shit, but I like that. That was fun. It was fun. Yeah, I made a couple mistakes. I was on pins and needles a couple of times, and it got cleared over. But I enjoyed that. And I look back, and then I do this channel and talk about certain things. But yeah, America might see mafia life, and woo, yeah, it's treacherous shit happened. But there was fun times. Gambling. Come on, I got the racing form. Yeah, we got a bankroll of 500. Let's get. It was fun. Then we're gonna go eat, and we're gonna friends. You're friends. That's all. It was friends, and of course, some of the guys were just a little more treacherous. They had different responsibilities. They had different duties, and you might get fooled. You think the guy's a real good guy, boom, 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 and this and that. Then you say the wrong thing, and he's like, "I'll slice your throat." I was like, "I was just kidding." Well, don't kid, JoJo. Don't kid. I was like, "Oh, all right. I'm not going to the track with him anymore. I'm staying home." And if you need to ride somewhere, they didn't have these car services, whatever the hell they are. I can't even think. I should know it, but a lot of these guys would always need ride. They why don't you just have a car? Like half the guys didn't even drive their own cars. They didn't even drive their own cars. Like, I need a ride. How do you need a ride? How do you need a damn ride? Jeez. But yeah, I'm all over the place here. I appreciate the people coming in here, and I like to commune. I like to commune with the people and everything. The Zip, Spataro, the Pit Bull. Hell yeah. I'm gonna watch. Is that's your channel name? Pit Bull? Of course, that's your channel name. Are you from this area, Pit Bull? You don't have to answer that. You're from this area? Oh, okay. The gambling, man. I did the video about my buddy, the guy, my friend that hit the slot for $250,000. He blew the money. We didn't have coffee money. $200 slots. He jackpotted the whole island out. 75,000, 75. Jackpotted the whole island out. We didn't have. Oh, that's cool, Pitbull. He blew it out, and he's a good Christian man, and he's a good man in society. He's trying to quit gambling, and he's a good man. He's the same guy that gave me the Jesus Calling book for the devotions. He's a good man in the world, but that gambling will tear your ass apart. I signed out of the casino. I signed out. Bye-bye. I don't want nothing to do with the casino. I self-excluded out of the casino. They're low hospitality. They don't give you any comps. They're running them down, these casinos down. They're garbage pail places. I signed out. Bye-bye. I just got back from Cleveland, Hard Rock, Northfield Raceway. I just got back today. I went there with a friend of mine, and we had fun. And screw New York State casinos. I signed out, self-excluded from all. I could go to the Indian casino, but I self-excluded. This New York State, they're worse than Al Capone. They don't give you any perks, no hospitality. They're run by very inept people, unprofessional people, like at Batavia Downs, and even Presque Isle. They're not. My buddy, I won't say any names. My buddy, I just came back from Northfield and Presque Isle, and he likes to roll dice. His handle, he's got the dice craps. He's got 500 on the table every spin. He tried to get a comp, and they said he didn't qualify. His handle was 30,000. His handle. And well, I mean, come on. In Vegas, if he did that in Vegas, well, years ago, I don't know about today, but he'd get more in Vegas today, yes. They would fly you, have a limo waiting for you at the airport with your name on a sign, and okay, boom, there's my name, there's my limo, there's my driver, let's go. That's what they would do in Vegas. At Batavia Downs or these rinky-dink places, that's a joke. You go for a comp, they laugh at you. It's a rundown, podunk. At that other casino, my buddy, he's sending it in. He's taking big chances, and they wouldn't comp you a donut. They wouldn't comp you a donut. Thank you, Pitbull. Thank you, man. Happy holidays to you and yours. That's what I enjoy. See, whatever views I get, I'm glad I got these people. That's all. So that rubbed me the wrong way. And you might as well take that kind of money and go to Vegas and enjoy Vegas than these rinky-dink, worse. You talk about organized crime. Yep, thanks, buddy. You talk about organized crime. The casinos are worse than Al Capone as far as organized crime is concerned. They're worse. And they're getting worse on comping people, high rollers that they're just not throwing them a comp. Yeah. I mean, it's terrible. Yeah. Yeah, they legalize it all and everything. Yeah. Thanks a lot, bro. Spataro. Italia. Sicilia. So, yeah, I shouldn't have mentioned that, but I did, and I don't edit. But, I mean, even if a guy's got 4,000 on him or 5,000, and the money goes up and down, the handle, so with all the bets, winning threes, getting it back up, so that handle, the handle of generating bets must have been a big amount, and you think a casino, they want that person. That's their ideal gambler. And they've refused him before. And it's just like, you know what? You want to make a move? Go to Vegas. Forget about these rinky-dink, low-life, bottom of the barrel, trash, Batavia Downs, Presque Isle, Vernon, or whatever, Del Lago. Forget about these rinky-dink, no-count casinos. If you're going to spend any kind of money, forget it. For the money you spend in there, get on a plane and go to Vegas and be treated right. That's all I'm saying. Get treated right. If you got 5,000, 10,000 in your kitty for your budget, you could go to Vegas and back for 300. I mean, geez. And when you play enough, you're going to get comped and you could stay for free in a real place. Batavia Downs is a joke. I signed out of there. I went to get a comp in the room. The girl laughed at me. I said, happy holidays. Bye-bye. I'm going to go exclude myself for a year. Bye-bye. Keep your Batavia Downs garbage. I don't need to play this game where I am the enemy. They got a new regime in there. They can't tie their shoes. They know nothing about hospitality. They know nothing about gaming. And you're sitting in there patronizing them for hours, and then you go to get a comp, and it's, oh, geez, I can't do nothing. Or they say you only lost so much, and they try to call you a liar. If stay away from Batavia Downs or these New York State, whatever. You want to gamble, go to Vegas. Not even Atlantic City. Not even Hard Rock over there. The Hard Rock Casino is, you can't, those, if you're playing slots over there, those slots are just thievery. That's all. Go to Vegas. Do it right. Atlantic City's a dump. New York State's a dump. Batavia Downs is a dump. That's all. So I've been all over the place on this video, but I appreciate my friends coming in here saying hello. And I think I'll probably leave it at that. I know I scattered all over the place and talked about different stuff, but in the gambling with the Colombo and Gambino and all that, they crossed over a lot. It wasn't just wars and whatever, but behind the scenes, if somebody got hit and they thought it was somebody else, but behind the scenes, they're running their rackets. They're running their rackets. It doesn't stop one day and you're in limbo when there's tons of gamblers ready to blow money. No, one way or another. So thanks a lot, folks. I appreciate you coming in here. I'm going to check out the Pit Bull and stay safe and make a score and save a little money for some Christmas presents. All right. Thanks a lot, folks. I appreciate your support. Hit the like button, comment, share, do a backflip, and all that good stuff. All right. Thanks for helping me out, folks. God bless y'all. Good night.